Hi, do you feel that your relationship would be so much better if only your partner would get with the program? If only they changed this one thing or two things? Well, if you are, you're not alone. But here's the thing. There's a common saying that you can't make somebody change. People don't change, and it's really only half true. You're not going to change your partner by telling them to change. But the fact is, people change all the time. Anyone who's been alive long enough, certainly anybody who's been in a relationship or married long enough, will tell you that people definitely change. And the key to a successful relationship is changing together, changing harmoniously, and certainly being able to, here's the big word, influence each other, right? You're not trying to change the other person per se. You're trying to influence them. You're trying to mutually influence each other, actually, to create a relationship that's great for both of you. And really, there are two kinds of changes that people want. One is sort of like the "what do you do" thing they want changed. Like, are you leaving a mess around the house? Are you leaving the toilet seat up or down, or something about chores, something about the way what somebody is doing. The other one is the way somebody is being. Like when they complain that their partner is too negative, or too hyper, or too much of a dreamer as opposed to practical, or anything like that. And that's very different. In the first case, if it's just like what somebody is doing, that can generally be taken care of just by really showing the other person, why it's important to you. And if you can show the other person why it's important to you, and they really do care about you, then 9 times out of 10 or better, it's really not that big a deal to get that behavior to change. And it might not happen overnight, it might not be consistent, right? But it's just like any kind of training. That typically is easy to make happen. However, when you're asking your partner to actually kind of be a different person, or maybe become a different person from whom they are, that's a lot more challenging. And the more you tell somebody that they need to change in some way, almost guaranteed the more they're going to resist. And that obviously is not going to work. So what can you do? Well, the truth is that it's more likely that they're going to be influenced, motivated by a stranger, somebody they might bump into on the street and have an interesting encounter with, than by you telling them to change. So that means that you have to back off from that. You have to give them space to be who they're going to be. Now, that being said, you can certainly inspire them. You can influence them by being the most amazing person you can be, by showing them how their life could be better, and certainly life for both of you can be better, perhaps by taking on some different traits or some additional interests, some additional nuances, you might say, to their personality. You can also make a huge change in your experience of the relationship just by changing your perspective, by changing who you're being, by changing what you're doing. And that can happen by yourself, that can happen with a program, that can happen with coaching. A lot of people come to me and they're curious whether or not they can make a big change in their relationship just by working with me, by their partner not being present. And the truth is, absolutely. Now, a lot certainly is helpful to have both partners involved, but a huge amount can be done just individually. So keep that in mind. Think about, who are you being? What are you bringing to the table? Are you actually setting a good example, or are you being hypocritical? Are you asking them to be someone that you're not being yourself? Now, finally, another option is to actually bring me on, or another coach. Ask your partner, after showing them how much of a difference you can make for yourself and how much of a difference you can make in the relationship with yourself, right? If they'd be interested just in having a conversation with someone that you met that seems to know a lot about relationships and is interested in just having a quick little conversation. Again, I'm not trying to push my services, I'm happy to do that, but it can be any qualified professional. And it's remarkable. I mean, certainly I've training how to have those kinds of conversations, but oftentimes it's a lot easier for somebody like myself to influence your partner than it is you, because I don't have a history with them, right? They don't have a notion of who I am and how the dynamic is supposed to be, and any number of months or years worth of upsets or expectations. So ironically enough, just by being a stranger in the relationship, it brings a different dynamic in that can make it much easier to influence somebody into taking on some big changes. So if you're feeling frustrated in a relationship, if you wish your partner would change and you're having some trouble making that happen by your own, I hope you found this useful. Again, just go to guyardito.com for any of my online training programs, any of my group coaching, or if you're interested, my private and couples coaching. So have a great day, and remember, life is an adventure. Live in love.